Ooh, Lord, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I am Ebony, of course, with Show, Style, and Spirit. As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking a little manosphere, or also known as the red pill sector here on YouTube. And it's going to be coming through the vessels of Marsau Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville and Cliff from Bell Collective. So y'all, I know it's going to be a lot, but we have to talk about the mindset that some of these men here on earth share. It is ridiculous. It is old fashioned. It is antiquated. And we have to be knowledgeable of it. So if any of us single ladies get walked up on by somebody that's talking this trash, you have to just remember to think independently and do not settle. Oh my gosh, we're going to get into some of the crazy stuff that they said. So, they obviously did a crossover conversation that Carlos King uploaded on his YouTube channel tonight. So, I checked it out and I wanted to give my commentary on it. Before I forget, I definitely want to say that the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. Of course, everything that I'm saying is just my opinion and alleged. And it's a lot to get into. So if you want to grab your wine, your brown liquor, your Bible, your weed, all you might need all three. The liquor, the weed, and the Bible. Okay. So let's just get into this first soundbite. So Cliff, they started off talking about actions that their wives take, at this point in marriage. I believe Cliff said that he and Latrice have been together for 13 years and they've been married for like 7 or 8 years. And then Marsau said that he and Tisha have been married for 18 years. So they're going to end up discussing about viewers of reality TV shows and whether or not we can decipher if something's real or fake. So that's what this soundbite is about that I'm queuing up. And here we go.
Trying her best to say it the right way, but I still feel the energy behind what she's saying. This is what I look at. Sometimes my wife, she doing stuff to piss me off. They want you to snap. For the reality TV, they want to stay number one on the show. Me, this is my life. They shoot it real. If they ain't gonna be real, I'm not doing facts. I'm no setting up. If you go, this is our life. We'll do that shoot it. Everybody in marriage got a problem. If you out here and you ain't got a problem in your marriage, you the biggest liar you ever see. Anybody on the reality show think everything good and you setting up fake saying you're not shooting your real life. And one thing about these fans, they know when it's fake and real. No, they don't. They don't. They don't. Them fans do not know. Let me tell you something. They know when somebody's faking. Bruh, please. Please. They know when the people do fake saying that, but they ain't real saying. They can feel it when they real off. But once people create a narrative for themselves, because people just say what they want you to think. I learned that. They just say the words, and you be like, oh, this. Like, I'm not saying yes or no, I don't know, and I wasn't here long enough. Man, my guy Flex, he gets out and says, hey, man, we're the original power couple. Now people repeat that like it came out the Bible. And I'm not saying that you weren't. I'm not saying he wasn't or he was. I don't care nothing about power couples. I'm just saying how much they believed it based on the fact that he said it. Right? So, right, okay. If people watching TV, some people will believe it. And some people are smart. The top 20% is not going to fall for it. So you talk about the followers. There's more followers than leaders. Really, they're going to point it out. See, I'm going to have to agree with that. I'm going to agree with that. And the fact that the dummies are more likely to be sitting on social media typing. So it's the vocal minority, definitely. Right, you got, I'm gonna say 80% probably don't know, but it's 20% typing that's very educated and knowledgeable. I watch what they post, they can read everything to the T. Yeah. So watch this. This is why, and talking about energy, reading the energy, right? Right. My mom used to always tell us, don't let somebody call you a dog If somebody calls you a dog, don't bark. Meaning, not don't respond, but don't respond in a manner that confirms what they said, right? Right. And I automatically know that when someone...
Okay. So y'all heard it. So Cliff was saying how his wife Latrice likes to do things to piss him off so he'll react on camera for the reality TV show. And Cliff was saying, you know, I'm not going to give her that energy because it won't be authentic. I would just be doing it because I know she's trying to get me to react on camera. He's like, you know, people can tell when it's a fake scene. Marsau disagreed. He said that viewers will just hear a narrative in our ears and we will automatically believe it. No, Marsau, that is not true. That is not true. Even just this week with Martel's arrest, I wanted to, you know, I was at the gym when I saw I was like cooling down on the bike, so I grabbed my phone. I said, "Oh my gosh, he's been arrested." So all I could do was finish my cool down, put on my coat, and drive back home. And then I wanted to read the charges. So there were already people who were already live. Y'all already knew, but I wanted to not just quote unquote believe the narrative. And those charges were looking almost like in the physical, but once I like Googled them, I said, oh my gosh, it is for the revenge P. So no, Marsau, people don't just automatically believe what they hear. If no one is in high school anymore, you're not going to like this person because they don't like your friend. You know, you get to know a person, or you research, or you watch the entire season, see how things play out, and then you come up with your own decision. I thought that it was interesting that he used the Fletchers as an example in his response to Cliff. He said that the Fletchers will say, we're the original power couple, and now the viewers believe that. Marsau, we're not believing anything based off of that statement. We're looking at the fact that Nell Fletcher has owned her own daycare for several years, and Chris Fletcher is a very hardcore selling, hardworking realtor in your area. He has lots of social media. He posts on his Instagram. He has TikTok videos where he's promoting his business as a realtor. It's things like that that we respect and admire. So he was kind of whining during this conversation with Cliff. You can tell I don't want to use the word disgruntled because I know people were using that this week to describe Funky Dineva. Like he's a little angry perhaps, or a little annoyed with the viewers, but we definitely can tell the real from the fake, darling. That's why everyone wants you to show all aspects of your business. You know, the alleged struggle, the alleged lawsuits, you know, don't just pretend like those things do not exist. And that could literally be your storyline, where it could be an educational piece for other business owners who watch the show. You know, I just don't like the pretending as if those major things are not happening in your real life. I think that is very strange. And then you're on a reality TV show. But anyway, let's move on to this next soundbite. Now, this next soundbite, I don't even want to give an introduction to. I'm not going to paint the picture. Cliff is going to do that for you. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you all a question. And I also ask that you all please hit the like button on this video, or even the dislike button, okay? And then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy conversing about the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This show definitely is a symbolism of different people that you meet in this world, in your life, and it just kind of gives you a variety of conversation that we can all have. All right, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. All right, so let's hear this next soundbite.
You make, that's the one you got to deal with. Thanks. You got to make what's going to be best for the family, the household, going to keep you strong, financially strong. You got to make those decisions, whatever going to keep the marriage together. Hey, been there. We going on 18 years now. Get married, friend, college. If you listen to people in the street, you probably wouldn't be married now. Heck no. said earlier, I'm happy that we had that situation, because I promise you, all they did was push us together and made us stronger. It's like I'm thinking about. I told you, like it's like that Thriller when they walking down and all the zombies come from everywhere. Then all of a sudden they find themselves back to back. Now, of course, he turned into a zombie, so that's not a good part. But at the end of the day, they forced us back to where we're supposed to be at. And now, man, it's unshakable. It's unshakable. After so many years of a couple together, they know who's good for them. There's certain people want to break. They jealous of your relationship, and they want you to divide. If you got a divorce for your wife right now, you'd be surprised how many women be coming at you. I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised how many guys in her inbox talking about how good they treat her. Right. Grand Rising Queen. But if you got guys, they tell that they and every woman inbox trying to tell that. They wake up in the morning and send out their Grand Risings. They send out their good morning beautifuls on their way to work. Right. Like, nah, man. But shoot, dog. You got other men want to chase something that they'll never get. And man, people just walk in your inbox. They just in your inbox talking all this good stuff. Man, social media done created a monster. These fools, man, what? I'm like, got to be strong. If you're strong, you ain't got to worry about it. You got to stay strong. Bro, it's easy for me, dog. It's easy for me. See, dog. Let's see it, dog.
Okay, so y'all want Marsau? Y'all want to date Marsau? Y'all want to get married to Marsau if he was single? I didn't know that. Y'all didn't tell me that. Y'all told Cliff from Bell Collective, because he just said that if, God forbid, Marsau and Tisha were to get divorced or break up, that Marsau would be surprised by the number of women that would want to date him. Now, I know there are some pick-me's out there, women who are male identified, and perhaps they might be interested, but is that true? Is that a thing? Or is Cliff, I didn't know men could be so delusional and tell each other such ridiculous things and puff each other's heads up. I think that Tisha Scott was made for Marsau. I think that she is definitely the one for him. And I do not see any of my friends, my classmates, I don't see any of them being interested in him with this conversation and just how triggering he loves to be. I just don't see them having the patience for that at all. And they will be comfortable in their skin enough to be single before they put up with that. Now, this next soundbite, this is definitely classic Marsau Scott. So this is when I learned, he was definitely familiar with the late Kevin Samuels. So I want to play this soundbite, and then we definitely have to talk. Okay, let's go.
Looking at the show, listen to you guys talk. It's like people are apprehensive of real men. I just don't think they see them often. Right. It's true. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, you had real men. The times have changed. People get sprayed by TV. They go on with the majority rule. So a lot of men just give up on dating on women because there's too much to deal with. You take a strong man to stay in a relationship. Most men gonna bail out and say, I ain't doing it. Bro, I'm super happy I'm not dating now. I'm super happy. I hear young guys, man, I'm telling you, I feel sorry for the women and I feel sorry for the men. Women now are looking for old school men. Right. Because young guys is not going to spend money on the women like our generation did. They're not going to do it. Facts. So, these women, they ain't going to be 50-50, they're going to be 70-30. Hey, they're going to take care of the men. And on top of that, they're going to spend money on them. And the old school did it as if it was their job. Like, right. Without asking for something in return. Now, young days, boy, dude get a chick nail done. Be like, what up on the what up? Right. Bruh. Things have changed. So, man, it done changed. There's a lot of single women because they can't beat the man that meet the criteria they want. The man they done get it is not there. Man, so they're talking about this was bad, but all y'all single, it's a shortage of men. Like I said, I have women come to me, they say, hey, we're looking for a man like you. All the time, you know, they said, I mean, it's pretty guy walking around single, why nobody get you? Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. All right? They was bad when they was 25. They had this big long list. Then all of a sudden, they start hitting up 30s and all this stuff. Now that list done got shorter, but they was the ones that wouldn't date this dude. They wouldn't date that dude, wouldn't date that dude. Now, they still thinking that they're that 25-year-old baddie. Like, no ma'am. No ma'am. And then another thing, when they were younger, they were running a group of girls about 7, 8, 9, 10. So as you get older, your friendship drop. They down to 2 girls now. So hey, we don't two talking. The rest of the girls done got married off. So they looking, hey, I done missed the boat and I can't swim. Hey, let me tell you something. I personally think it's gonna be a lot of trouble. People say this, they be like, know your worth, right? Right. Know what you are worth, know what you ain't worth, know what the market is. God rest his soul, Kevin Samuel. Know what you're worth, know what you ain't worth. Because as crass as he was, and as bad as his delivery was, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, right? He wasn't wrong. He was just a little rude with it, but he wasn't wrong, right? He's like, listen, sweetie, I think your marketability is not where you think it is. You want this. You want a guy like this. This guy has options, right? And what makes you one of his top options? You know? Hey, but
Okay, so there's like just so many things wrong with that soundbite. Okay, so first of all, they were all over the place. They were literally canceling each other's statements out when they were talking about dating today. So Marsau said that women want old-fashioned men, men who are going to like pay the bills and be the breadwinner. And then Cliff immediately says, oh yeah, these women don't want 50-50, they want 70-30. They want to take care of the men. Now, from my experience, I feel like the harder you work and the more successful you are, sometimes the people that have the nerve to walk up to you, they want to be sponsored. They want female sponsorship. So no, I feel like there's nothing wrong with demanding someone that works just as hard as you and that person knows how to pay their bills on time so they have some decent credit. If God forbid they're in a situation where they need to apply for a credit card for, to have a loan, to have some money or whatever, or if you all are going to buy a house together, they can qualify. There's nothing wrong with wanting a person that's responsible with their money. And then Marsau had the nerve to bring up saying, when you were 25 years old, you were picky, then you hit your 30s as if your 30s is old. That was so judgmental. I'm sure he would not want anyone telling him in his 40s that he is old or like a senior. So who are you to call out people in their 30s? Then he's like, oh, that list starts to dwindle because you're in your 30s and you are single. He's like, and then, there were dudes that you weren't willing to date because you were 25. And then now you still think that you're that 25 baddie, like you can still be picky. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, it's yes, ma'am. Marsau, no woman should settle because she's no longer in her 20s and 30s. That's another problem as well. The loser men that were losers in their 20s and 30s, that, hardworking, kind, spiritual, great women like myself, we didn't fuck with them when we were in our 20s and 30s. We don't want to fuck with them in our 40s either. So we're not going to settle just because we're older. And there is no man that is perfect that is going to try and make me feel bad, about my body or my age or my locks in my hair. I'm just not going to settle. If I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. I'm not a rude person. I'm not a rude person. So if I decide to go up the street to my neighborhood pub and have a drink and sit at the bar, that doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically entertain you or give you my phone number at the end of the night, and definitely not anything more. Just because you see that I'm single and you check out my hand and there's no ring finger, and you can tell I'm not in my 20s or early or mid 30s anymore. I'm not going to settle. And you're not going to be ageist towards me and make me think that because I'm older, I should automatically settle. No, I'm not doing that. So fuck what you said, Marsau. And that's 100%. But I definitely want to hear from you all. What do you all think? I want to hear from both single women and married women, engaged women, the widows. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for your loss. I want to hear from everyone. What do you think about the dating scene and people just trying to apply all of their judgments onto you and trying to make you feel like you should settle because you are of a certain age and you are still single, and then Kevin Samuels has totally validated these ignorant, crazy, judgmental mindsets that some men like Marsau have. It is ridiculous. I want a person to treat me how they want to be treated in return. I don't like the men who thinks that they're being funny or charming by trying to say something that's embarrassing or fronting on you. Just say, "Hi, how are you? I would like to get to know you. Can I call you sometime?" And then after they call, I would love to take you out. Can we go out to dinner, or can we go out to the movies? Can we go bowling? Shit like that. Very conversational, very respectful. And no, don't bring up sex on the first couple conversations. I hate that shit. I'm not a slut and I'm not stupid. So you trying to wiggle that in on an early conversation where you don't even know me, that is such a turn off. And it lets me know that you're just a fuck boy and I'm not interested. So yeah, those are the things that I would need minimum. And then yes, you would have to be hardworking, have a job, be able to pay your bills on time. If you have children, in my opinion, if you're like a man out here, you got 2, 3 kids, you should make 6 figures a year so that you can adequately provide for them. Not just shelter, food, and clothing, but if you want to put them in extracurricular activities so that they're cultured and you tap into their god-given gifts, you know what I'm saying, and you can educate them. It ain't just about me trying to spend up all your money, but I know how y'all don't like to wrap it up when you're intimate, you got kids all over town. You need to have the income to provide for these kids, and there's nothing wrong with asking for that. And no, Cliff, I ain't looking for no 70-30. I'm not a female sponsor. No, sir, absolutely not. Yeah, so thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate your support. It means so much to me. Oh, and a quick summary of what else they said that I didn't get sound bites for. Marsau just making fun of, people, women calling themselves a boss chick, and he asked Cliff, how do you embrace supporting your wife when she wants to do these different ventures? And Cliff said, oh, I let her make mistakes because she won't listen to me. She just has to make them. And it's clear, like Cliff and Latrice, like they have major income coming in, and Marsau was trying to ask him, does Latrice cook or clean? And Cliff was like, oh, we have a housekeeper. And Marsau was like, oh, you have a housekeeper? How often do they come by? He says they come once a week. And I do not think Cliff was lying. Okay. And Marsau tried to say, oh, yeah, well, our housekeeper, when they come in and they clean, by the end of the day, the house looked like how it did before. You need to hush. You didn't even say a rotation that your quote unquote housekeeper was coming. But Cliff and Latrice, I totally believe they got one because he was cool as a cucumber as he said that. All right. Okay. Y'all can tell I'm fired up. I was sleepy, while I was capturing the sound bites, but now they done got me all fired up. I do have another video to make, but I don't want to be low on energy when I make it. So I think I'm going to go to bed, and after I wake up, have breakfast, then I will make that video. And then I'll probably schedule it to run like early Sunday morning. All right, y'all. So by the time you see this, I hope that your Saturday is off to a great start. And be safe out there. If you are in the midst of a lot of snow, hopefully I'll get to see American Fiction. Oh my gosh, I really want to support this film. But, the snow is no joke. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.